now. That's crazy.
Hi. Oh, say hi, Indy. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Amir.
Now go to your room, sir.
Hi, Boo. You're a
Mommy,
good boy.
cheering.
They are cheering. Say hi, Indy. You have to go in your room. Say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
All right. Now go
baby.
to your room. Go into your room. No, eat the rest of your macaroni. Amir, why are you doing this? You was just quiet. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Talk to Rose. On this show, we talk about everything that's going on in the world, good, bad, raggedy, and wonderful. So we're going to get this show started right now. Thank you to everybody that tunes in, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the show. And we're going to get things going. Everybody can introduce themselves. Hi, Tia. I guess we'll go from top to bottom, like counterclockwise.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Melanin Madam, and I am here to support Rose, which is my twin. Please call me twin. Thank you.
It's mommy turn.
Hello there, everyone. This is Mommy. This is Auntie. This is, what else am I? Everything. This is my first time on, and I love you all.
I love it here. I am Coach Nita. Hey, Lex. Hey, lady.
Hi, Sophia. It's your turn, Lady A.
I think, okay, guess it's my turn, and it's me, Lady A.
Your phone, your
Welcome,
thing is
everybody.
messing up though, Alondra. Your sound is messing up.
Okay, let me try to go back off and
Okay.
get back on.
Okay. Okay, so everybody introduce themselves. Happy Pisces season, because it is still Pisces season. So
Happy
ha-
Pisces season.
Is that what it
happy
is?
Pisces
Spicy?
season, Pisces, to all
Oh,
the Pisces in the
spicy.
world. Yes, and then happy Women's International Empowerment Month. So that's what we have mommy on here for today, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. Um, I'll get into the first story until Alondra come back. So the first story I wanted to talk about is, since it is Women Empowerment Month. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki.
Hold on just 1 second, you guys. Amir, go in your room because I'm not playing with you no more. I'm trying to do better without cussing him out, people, and he's on his way. Go into your room now.
No.
Yes.
No.
See, y'all can see what I go through firsthand. Go to your room, Amir.
No.
Well, you need to be quiet.
AC, listen to your mommy. This is grandmommy. You
Go to
listen.
your room and go eat the rest of your macaroni and cheese in your room. Go on, because you're being too loud.
I'm not being too loud.
Okay, well, go sit over there and be quiet. You better be lucky we online. Sorry, everybody, for all the interruptions.
All right.
Hey, Tang. Okay, so
Listen.
the first
AC,
story. Let you guys talk. Just talk really fast so I can deal with him. You guys can talk about women's empowerment or something right now. Juanita, you could tell them about something that you did that is empowering for women. Just give me a second, please.
Just give me
Oh, she put me on the spot. She should have put it on mute because I know she gonna get them legs. But cheers and salute to every woman on this screen. Major shout out to my auntie, even though she looks like she's frozen. Hey, we wouldn't. Yeah, we wouldn't be where we are without this woman on this screen.
Oh,
So
my knee is hurting.
cheers to you, legs, for paving the way.
What? Thank
Uh,
you.
yes, madam. What about you?
I haven't
I'm
seen
sorry,
a little
what was
face
the question?
lately. Oh,
Just
you don't
something
know?
about women's empowerment?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. If we're just talking about women's empowerment, it's always a good idea to thank our ancestors because without them and our elders, we would be nowhere. So I am extremely appreciative. And then to take it a step further, as a Delta, I'm the one that's super sensitive. So during this month is Sisterhood Month, and we do celebrate everybody out there that has had amazing accomplishments. And for me this year, what I've drawn closer to is one, our youth that are doing such amazing things during a time where we don't see people doing what they should. And so when I see them striving and doing things like creating call centers for women to call in with health issues and focusing on us as Black women, I think that's amazing. But then more important, the women in my community and around me that I think are amazing mothers. I pull a lot of my strength from
Okay.
them, a lot of my gratitude, and just feeling beautiful and feeling amazing being a woman, knowing that I know so many amazing women that empower me.
Thank you, ladies. Okay, I'm back. I need to make me a drink too. I should have, but I didn't. Okay, so the first story I wanted to talk about, thank you, ladies, for taking in for a second, is that over 2 million, 20 million single women now own homes. This is a new U.S. record. So that's part of women's empowerment. And they're saying how most women now, they're either single or divorced or widows, but they still have families, and they buying up, those are the people that are buying up the houses now, the housing market. And even though the housing market has taken a dip, the single women, well, women in general are the ones that's buying up the houses. So big ups to the women out there, because like we said last week with my cousin that told me to talk about our nanny, she bought a house in the 60s when it was frowned upon to even have a house or buy a house, because it was just frowned on, and then they looked at Black people funny. Alondra said that I think it was like her great grandma bought a house in LA across from UCLA, and even in that deed it said that no ends were to buy that house, and that's who bought the house and had the house until they passed away a couple of years ago. So shout out to the women in the world that are, we doing it big, you guys. I always say now, I think that most is the way the world is now. You don't have to wait for a man to do anything. So if you want to buy a house, they going out buying houses now. So shout out to all the ladies that are out there buying houses by themselves, and they don't need a man to do it. Not that I'm cheering it on, but if you can do it and do it by yourself, then kudos to you. I'm proud of everybody that's doing that. So, like I was trying to tell them about, was that your great grandma, or was that your auntie that bought the house in UCLA where on the deed it said no ends was to
Oh,
buy the?
it was my great grandmother.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know
So,
what's crazy, Rashonda? The house that I was telling you, and I think Alondra about when she called me about houses, my great grandmother's house that sits in Sintown, that house is my great grandmother's house. Do you know that original deed had to have my uncle's name on it? Because he
I
was in the
believe it.
service and she could not put the house in her name. So basically, she had to write down that she was paying him rent, but that was her damn house. And if we had not found that paper, that house would have ended up on their side of the family because that's not my biological uncle. We love him, but it's not. But the house would have been lost again today because some men still hold on to shit. And that's my great grandma. It's still there today. We still own original homes, but they would have been able to take it because she could
Yep.
not put her name on it then.
And what year was that in the like in the 60s
It
too?
was in the 60s. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It
Also,
was in the 60s.
all everybody got their houses in the 60s. The
Yeah, we
women
came
that
here
were
in the
talking.
60s from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my
Mm-hmm.
great grandmother's house was built in 1911.
Wow.
But she bought it in the 50s,
Wow.
in the 1950s. 1956, she bought the house.
But just crazy. That wasn't that long ago that we
No.
still could not put nothing in our name or have a bank account. It's
True.
crazy. But yeah, a lot of us still have that in our family that we're fighting for.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay, so the next story I wanted to get into is out of Florida. It was just funny to me because if it was us, we would not be able to do this. A Florida lady, you already know what race she is. The hospital just filed an eviction lawsuit against the patient who has been refusing to leave the hospital since October last year.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Come
She been
again?
refusing to leave since October last year. She got pictures of her family up in there. The picture they got of her, she got her own TV. She got a big bucket of KFC. Just so it says this lady straight up will not get out the bed. A Memorial Healthcare has filed a lawsuit against a woman who has been occupying room 373 since she was formally discharged back in October. That was 5 months ago. This woman received a discharge order on October 6th. Doctor says she no longer needed acute care. They gave her follow-up plans and told her she was good to go. She said no and kept saying no for 153 days and counting. The hospital has now asked for a state judge in injunction order her to vacate the room and has requested authorization for the Leon County Sheriff Office to assist if she still refuses. The lawsuit states that she continues to occupy and prevents use of the bed for patients needing acute care, which the hospital legally speaks for. There are people who are actually sick and we need the room back immediately. This woman turned this hospital stay into a lease agreement. At this point, she probably has mail delivered there. She has rearranged the furniture. It has options about the cafeteria menu. Most people can't wait to leave the hospital. This is just crazy that somebody would do that. Now, I didn't even know that you can do that because I feel like in California, they would just have the police come take you out. I didn't know that you could say you're not going. Did y'all
You
know
can't.
that?
No.
No.
No, because you can't. They can. I don't know why they're not going that route, but they can.
But
Maybe they don't
maybe
want
in
to
Florida,
seem harsh.
yeah, I wonder in Florida, is it different then? Or is it because she's this color?
I think it's because she's that color and they don't want to F around and get sued because the people in the comments of the one I sent you was from Florida and they was RN saying, no, we just call the police. And then the police come in, escort them out because it's called trespassing. So I was like, why is she different then?
Yeah, because they get when they give you that notice, they get out because who's paying the hospital stay and all that, like insurance wise and everything.
No.
That's why I'm like, how is she this lady able
Taxpayer.
to do this?
No, the insurance. I know for a fact that insurance ain't paying for that.
No, insurance is not paying for that. They barely pay for those of us that need to be there.
Right, and they putting
Literally.
you out. They putting you out. I'll say like at the 7 days max. If it ain't really nothing wrong with you, they feel like you better. They putting you out.
But Rose, she done rearranged the furniture so that means she could walk. She ordering her food.
I was like, it's wheels on the bed. Y'all can wheel her outside, but legally you cannot put people out if they say that they don't have nowhere to go. Now that I do know
In
that
California
you
or
can't.
everywhere.
Well, I
Yeah,
know in
that's called patient
California,
dumping.
yeah,
Oh,
in
You can't do
California
that.
you can't put them out if they don't have nowhere to go.
oh, okay.
So I don't know if it's different there or not. So now we're going to get into our next topic is why we have mommy here today. It is for Women's Empowerment Month. So mommy is going to talk about she wants to empower the young women of the world and let them know what she went through and how you can overcome anything as women. Mommy, you're on.
Okay. Yes, I'm back. Thank you. Yes, I just thank God for having the mom that I had. And she just told it like it is. She didn't cut no punches, she tell you. And, and one thing about having, to better yourself, because when you get out of, finish high school, she told me, meant for my twin as well, and my brother, when you finish school, you've got two things to do. You either enroll in another occupational school, or you get a job, or you out of here. No ifs, ands, and buts. And she meant it. So I knew when I finished high school, I got a job. I didn't know which way I wanted to go. And anyway, so I was just did my work, I guess it's a workaholic. And my mom, she did day work. Like you said, the help, the movie, she just didn't wear a uniform. But my mother, that was what she did. That was her living, her occupation. And she knew how to handle her money. She dressed well. She had us. School came, whatever it is. I didn't know because we were young. We didn't know what was going on. We got a little older. She told us she had layaways. Back then, she put our clothes on layaway. So by the time that occasion came, school, time for school, we had school clothes. Easter, Christmas, the holidays, 4th of July, whatever it was, we had clothes like children that had a father with a good job. She dressed us well, and I was proud of her because bless my little friend Lily, my best girlfriend. She, her mom and dad, and I dressed. I was blessed to dress even better than her. So just sad to say that, show you how my mother, she knew how to hold on and when to spin it, and like that. So I
How did
just
that help you be a better parent, mommy?
beg pardon.
How did that help you be a better mother?
Oh, it helped me because I knew my mother told us, you get, they had came out with the birth control around about that time. So it was kind of knocking on your doors, introducing your daughters and different ones to birth control. And they tried to bring me in there. Because I don't want to listen to that and go through that. I was shame-faced it. But anywho, my mother told me if you have a baby, that's on you. They didn't ask to come here, and you're going to take care of it. And I saw some action. When my twin got pregnant when she was almost 16, my mom said it ain't going to be, nobody ain't going to know no babies in this house. So there ain't going to be no pissy, smelling. So she got her up and got the baby bathed up and potted down and the twin and all. And she raised her to stand tall with her baby. Take care of her. Like they don't actually come here, so say, God, take care of them. So that made me understand when I got married, and to have uh, pregnant to have my first child. I knew what to do. I was working and I stopped. They let you work up until you were 7 months back then. And if they find out you were beyond 7 months, you got fired because they didn't believe in, I guess, you hurting the baby yourself. No lawsuits. So but I'm just going to say this about I've been married twice. My first husband told me when we were dating, we was going to get married. He said, "Nee, but tell you, you don't have to work. You can, I'll support you. But if you decide to work, you you have that's you're going to pay child. You're going to
Child
daycare,
support or daycare?
daycare. Yeah. because he knew I would be working. So that's going to be your bill. And my ex-husband, first husband, he didn't care about talking. He was quiet. So he said, "Now, if you want a phone," he said, "that's your bill." I said, "No problem." So I
But
knew those were going to be.
I'm asking you, how did that help you when you had children? How did nanny raising you
But,
help you when you had children?
but to me, that's what I'm telling you. I'm right.
Oh,
Women's empowerment. They want to know, how did that help you better yourself?
Well, I knew, well, okay, that to me, that was preparing me to be a mother, to stand. So it still goes back to what I said. That they didn't ask us.
She's standing by that.
Okay, I'm standing by it. So I knew when I got a job, yes, ma'am. You get your child, get them in daycare or whatever, somebody's house. But it made me to not to be on nobody. To
how about when you divorced from my daddy and you were not able, you didn't have a two household income? How did that affect you, and how were you able to beat the odds with that?
Thank you. Leave me on. But anyway, you know where I was coming from. Well, it prepared me because you know my little second husband, he had a problem. He was on drugs. You tell it like it was. A good man, he just got caught up. And I knew I needed a better income. And I always wanted to work. I always wanted to wear a uniform. And so, what is that? In school, you had a history thing to have people to come out and show you the route or whatever. And I went for the service, and until they told me I had long hair and longer hair than what I got now. And I told myself, and they said, uh, "Your hair cannot touch your collar." I'm like, I almost hold up here. I said, "Can it be in a ball?" And said, "No, you have to cut it." And that stuck me right there. I didn't want to be in the service if you're going to cut my hair. So I knew that I had to find other means with a better job. And so I went toward the post office. There was a uniform, and I took the test. Unfortunately, I didn't pass. I took the test 3 times. The third time was a charm. And I'm just glad that as long as they had an opening, you could take the test. And so you just never knew where you were weak at. It was, so, but I passed it on the third try. And I prayed, Lord, please let me get, pass this test so I could take care of my family, take care of my kids and me. And he did just that. And I told the church, and didn't have no shame. Back then you had, what is that when you have, they tell you to be on the floor to give a,
A
what,
testimony.
thank you, a testimony. And I asked him, what I need a better job. I didn't want to be a woman that had to have a man, to better you and live like that. And they prayed for me, and I thank God the rest of the history. I passed the test, got on at the post office, and got my uniform, United States Postal Service, and I was happy in the FELOC. And and I was so happy to be able to take care of my family and not have a man to have to do that, and live the way, loyal to the Lord. And so that's and tell other young women, they can make it. You can make it without a man. Just better your education, and you can make it. You know, 'cause these men are not all, but they will leave you with that baby or those children. But that's just the way it is. So better yourself, your education, and get your job and get you a good job, and the Lord will see you through. And that's 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 the way I made it. And I thank God. I stayed on there until I retired not very long ago. Because I think I was there, what, 20 years, 20 something years,
No, it
20,
was like 30.
30 years,
It was like 30
30
something. Yeah.
years, and I loved it. I loved it all. I loved what I did. I loved wearing my uniform and supporting my children, my family. Thank you all for listening and going
Thank
all
you,
off the track.
mommy. Thank you, mommy. Yeah, so we love to have the elder generation on because they have a lot of jewels they can drop on us. And that was one of them. My mom, I remember her getting a job at the post office, and when she did get it, she worked in El Hambre, so she was leaving before we got up for school, and then she would come back. We was already at home, so it was long days that mommy was doing it, but she did it for a gooder cause so she could help take care of us. And I do remember growing up a lot of times, um it would be teachers. I remember my one teacher, Miss Chalk, when my mom came to parents teacher conference, and my mom was like, oh, I'm a single mom, and she was like, I would never knew that you was a single mom. Like, I thought they had both their mom and dad, the way you dressed them and the way they were. Like, I would have never been able to tell that it was just a single parent. So thank you, mommy, for everything that you did for us to make sure we had everything. We
Oh,
love
you're welcome, sweetie. I
you.
think
And we'll
God
have
will
you
help you.
back. You can stay on here if you want to. I don't know if Sanaya is holding the phone up for you or not.
No, no, you got me
So,
popped up.
huh?
She got everything popped up for me.
Oh, okay. So we'll get into the next one. Alondra, do you know if Anissa's on her way?
She's on. Yeah, she said she's gonna log in. Right, I stepped away to call her.
Oh, okay. Okay, so the next topic that we're going to talk about is our main topic, and it is supporting my LGBT plus daughter. And I think that this is a topic that we need to be talking about nowadays because just the climate that we're in, and a lot of children, this is their life now. So we need to know how to go forward with it and how parents should feel, or, I just think it's a good topic. So we just have our other person, Anissa, come on. That is Alondra's daughter.
Hello,
Yay!
y'all.
Hey,
And so we'll get right into the topic. We have, where's Juanita? I was gonna say I don't even see Juanita no more. She right there. So Juanita and Nisa will probably be the ones answering most of the questions, and then Alondra can chime in too. But if anybody else in the comments, if you have anything that you want to ask, you're more than welcome to put it in the chat so we can ask them the questions. So Nisa, you want to introduce yourself real fast? Is she stuck?
Oh,
You hear us,
Yeah, I
Nisa?
can answer a question.
No, I said introduce
Yeah,
introduce
I
it.
can
yourself.
hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. My name is Anissa. I'm 26 years old. I'm a Sagittarius. Um, yeah, an empath.
The two
hey,
Sagittarius is on in.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna get right into the topic. So we need you guys, y'all can answer these questions. So when did you guys first begin to understand your identity? What age were you at? And both of you guys could just jump in or whatever.
Okay, for me, I always knew myself. I was always very grounded in who I am. I have a very righteous personality, so I kind of knew, right from wrong, as well as my likes and dislikes very early. But if I have to give it a age, I know definitely before third grade, second. I knew early. Yeah,
Wow.
but I knew early.
Look at Alondra like this is
This
news to
is
me.
new.
Yeah, this is the mom in the middle. Okay, so Juanita, what about you, Coach Nita? When did you first identify?
I think I've always been, and y'all knew this as kids, but you know, I had a lot of like boyfriends per se, and I think that was just to mask. And then growing up in a very religious household, you felt that you had to create these facades. But I knew I would say probably like 9-ish, but I didn't fully come out until I was about 18. But I always knew, and it's not to sound ego driven, but I had a lot of guys that liked me. So I was just like, this is the way to go. Like, a hashtag Baptist only, but at some point, I kind of got tired of creating this facade. That I was into dating, guys, and that just wasn't for me. So to answer you, I think I always knew. I don't know if I was in the third grade, but being 9 is probably not that far off from third grade.
Okay, so what was it like for you guys um growing up and you couldn't be, or you felt like you couldn't be yourself? Like, what was it like growing up like that before you had the words to describe who you were, or you might have been afraid to say it? Like, what was that like, or do you not remember?
I do remember. Still to this day, I don't feel the need to say it to everybody because it's kind of like
Mm-hmm.
I'm like more private, and it's like I wear it on my sleeve. So it's like I didn't really feel the need to come out to every single person, just like intimate people. Um, and ask the question again. I had something else to say.
I said, what was it like growing up before you had words to describe who you were?
Uh, okay. Also, for me, I would just switch the girl to a guy. So whenever I would talk about something, I would just make it seem like I was talking about a dude. So really, it wasn't that bad, I guess. I mean,
Look, I'm
yeah, I would
learning
just
stuff.
switch it. So I mean, there was ways around it.
Wow. Hmm.
And what about you, Juanita?
Um,
What's
I think
that? In the
because I'm a little older, and
Yeah.
then uh, uh, it was a little bit different because this was like 90s, right? So you had to like, create this illusion, right? That you were, on your way to the marriage realm. And that necessarily wasn't the case. So being out then, I think y'all already knew, right? Because I've always been, shut up, Rashonda, always been an athlete and a tomboy. But I think for my family, it was easier than it was a religious and professional sector. Because, professionally, you're thinking, how do I, you know, identify in the professional world. But you all were like, if I'm being honest, you were my first phone call, bro. And I'm calling like in tears and Rashonda. And she's just like, tell me something I don't know. So I kind of felt defeated because I really thought that I was about to be having breaking news. My grandmother was just kind of like, let me know when you're done. Legs has always been loving to me. So I didn't feel anything from family. I think I felt something more from religious leadership and people than I did from my own family. My family was like, "Girl, tell us something we don't know," and I'm like, "I waited all these years to say something, and y'all already knew this." But yes, Rose was my first call.
I would like to add to that too. So I would say the only downside of what I felt was sometimes when I got older and I was in intimate relationships, I didn't necessarily feel like I could reach out for advice because of the
Mm.
lifestyle man. So that was like one big downside is I feel like I couldn't get additional support just advice wise on like when to let go, you know, stuff like that, because I didn't want to share and make anybody uncomfortable.
Right. Okay. And so, Alondra, this question is for you. How did you feel when your daughter, if did Anissa, did you come out to your mom, or how did you feel when she came out to you? What were your feelings?
Well, I can't say I was completely like shocked because she was always what we call like tomboyish. She didn't like girly things growing up. She didn't like dolls. She played football with the boys. Her best friend was a boy. um she didn't start having girls that, and now that she's saying this, even now today, things are coming back like, oh my god, why didn't I pick up on that? But it's probably because I'm her mom. So I think when she actually initially came out and said gave it language and told me, I was kind of like, I had to take a beat for a second, like, you
Yeah.
said the quiet thing out loud kind of thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? She said the quiet thing out loud. And I knew at that point that I needed to be careful with how I handled my daughter, because, and this is I really love this topic. Like I was telling Roshonda earlier, I was really excited for it because we
Definitely.
parents have to be very careful how we handle our children. It is natural to feel, I did feel a little sadness and disappointment a little bit, to if I'm going to be honest, because this is my daughter and she's beautiful and I love her, and I had a baby girl put in my
And
arms,
it was
and
clear. It was clear, y'all.
what,
Clear how
that I
she
was
felt.
disappointed.
Yeah, it was clear.
Yeah. But I think, but also we need to, from a parent's perspective, to a parent to a child, I think you also, just like you're scared to tell your parents or whatever, you're giving us information that may or may not be news to us, but we need the opportunity to get some grace at that point, because that's a lot to drop on somebody. And every parent has hopes and dreams for their kids or whatnot, and you're telling me like, oh my god, I'm not gonna have grandkids. All this stuff was running through my mind at that point. But yeah, so I mean, I knew I had to be careful about what I said. Did I say everything right? No. I don't think so, but I did do some things right. So, but I'll let my daughter tell you about that.
Yeah, I think Alondra was in denial because I had been said something to Alondra and she was like, no. I was like, okay.
She was.
And I was in denial. Yeah, you're right. I
Yeah,
absolutely
she
was
was
in
in denial when I said
denial.
something, but I was just saying, like, do you think, like, Anissa? And she was like, no. And I was like, okay, because I know I have a good gaydar. So it was like, no, I know. I know for a fact, but I was just like, I'm gonna let my best friend have it whenever she's ready to.
Right. Here's another reason. In my defense, like Juanita was talking about, dating guys and having guys like you. She was dating guys. She had boyfriends and stuff. So,
Guys is a stretch. Guys is a stretch.
but
One,
there was a couple.
one, and he was gay
No, there
too.
was
So
like
chill,
two.
chill.
That be they, what do they call it? A
What?
beard. That's their beard.
No, no,
As
no.
they,
I think these guys genuinely like them. But so here's what I could give you the name, Anissa. Remember Jerusalem? I'm gonna
Oh
just say
my
him.
God. Nobody dated him.
Well, because I liked him. That's why I
He used
remember his
to bring
name.
me hot wings because he liked me. That was it.
so see the, but how do you feel like you and Anissa's situation is now? Are you more accepting of it, or are you still like a little bit? You need to
No,
understand more.
well, here's the clear thing. Her coming out, whether there's worse things that my daughter could be that I would have been ashamed of. Like if she
Right.
had been a prostitute, a crackhead, or something like that, then I think I would be ashamed of her. I'm not ashamed of her because she is still Anissa. It didn't stop her from being Anissa. It didn't stop her from being my daughter. It didn't stop her from being somebody that I love. Now, did I always handle that correctly? No, but I think we've come a long way with that. Am I
Well,
the type? Oh, go ahead.
no, I said, are you the type of parent that will go to the parades and all that stuff and go to the prides?
No, I'm not going to no parade with her. No. No, I'm not going to do that.
I'll go with
But
you, Anissa.
yeah,
Okay.
but that doesn't mean I don't think that that also has to mean that I am homophobic or I just don't want to go to that parade. I could
It's
go to the
also
parade without having an LGBTQ kid. I don't want to go to that. I don't like parades really like that anyway. But
Also, I'm not really a rainbow flagger. I do go to certain events that I like, but I'm not really one that has like a rainbow flag. You know, I think
Gwanita is like that too. Gwanita don't really go to none of that stuff either, but she
I'm
know
not.
we.
I used to in my early 20s, right? I've gone to
yeah,
pride festivals. I've gone to all this, but I think the older you get, it's just like, do you walk around and go to straight festivals? Like, let me go out
right.
and show
Oh yeah,
everybody
that's
that I
true. Yeah.
have a baby's
Yeah,
Yeah.
daddy. Like, it just becomes like a part of who you are, but at the same time, it's one of those where people are going to support you, but I think the people that are making it the decisions are right, Tia, are the people that can support you, but we have to realize that it may not be for everybody. And to push that upon people, even down with today's transition about pronouns
Yeah.
and gender normalities. A lot of these things are different. And so having the grace, giving grace to other people because this is our lifestyle, our choice, not to force it and say, you have to refer to me as this or you have to support me with this. But I think there's nothing different, no shade to anybody, but somebody having a child young or out of wedlock or sex before.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I think we have these selective sins, quote unquote, that we choose
Hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
highlight, like, because I'm not doing this, I'm better than you, but you still need to.
Right.
You probably ain't paying taxes, you probably got snacks in your bed, being a gluttonous, you know what I'm saying? And I think that we forget that sin is sin,
A
and
sin is a sin. Yeah.
yeah, we have
So
these selective.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I want to ask, well, Anissa, does that make you feel a type of way that I said I wouldn't go to a parade with you?
no.
Okay. Like now, if she came to me, say this. If she came to me, I think she doesn't feel the type of way because I'm not. I'll say this. You answer it, and he said, "Do you not feel the type of way because I don't make you feel bad for?" I'll say I don't know how to ask this question. Like I don't make you feel bad for being gay.
No, that's not why.
Okay, or
Just more.
you
It's more so like, I guess, give and take in the sense of, I guess, in different words, what you're saying kind of tracks. But what I think, how I feel about it is, it's give and take. Like, and you have autonomy. I'm not. You're not going to be interested in everything I'm interested in.
yeah.
Um, like I said, I'm not. Sorry. Like I said, I'm not really a super pride person anyway. I'll go to an event if it's like a theme I like or something like that. But I don't feel the way because at the end of the day, you have your own autonomy and it's give and take. Like, I'm happy for the progress we've made. I wouldn't press you to do and be around overly gayness, you know?
Well, it's not, and then two, it's not always just about it being gay. I don't really like all them crowds of people. That's also part of it. So that's another good thing to bring out. Like some things, remember we were talking and a couple of years ago when you had mentioned like maybe the possibility of you getting married, right? And I told you like I'm not coming to your wedding, and you just told me a few days ago, well, that hurt my feelings when you said that, mom. And I'm like, well, it was more I think I've changed my heart now, but back then I definitely wouldn't have came because I also it was about the person you was with too. I
Yeah.
vehemently did not like that person and knew they weren't good for you and they hurt you. So it was the two things. Like now, if you wanted to get married and something, I think I might feel a little bit different now. And if it
But
was a good person that
be
was good for you,
even to be real, I feel like the intense hatred you had for that said person, I feel like you wouldn't have had that super intense hatred if it was a man. I still, a part of me feel like that.
maybe I don't know. Maybe so. Maybe so. Um, I'm not gonna say that that isn't a part of it. See, and I think that's what we parents also have to be accountable and be honest about stuff. Like some of it, but not everything is the gay. Honestly,
Yeah,
like
I know
everything
her because
isn't the
dope.
gay.
It's dope. You know?
So we need to have you had a situation where you felt like your family didn't have your back because of this?
Of the gay.
Honestly, no. I've been blessed with y'all. I could have came out polka dot and legs would be like that's still mini. You know what I'm saying? So I feel blessed to have had a different experience. Because I come from a very loving family. Very accepting family that I didn't have that. Now I had it on religious platforms where I was thinking maybe, religious leadership should have given me more grace or been there or to support me. But my grandmother, that's one thing about her, she didn't play when it came to me. So I don't care what you say, you better not keep your mouth and your lips on my granddaughter. So she didn't play that. And when I would have conversations with her because we would talk a lot. She would always tell me, Legs, I don't care what you do. You just better be a good person. You better be an integral person. Be open, honest, and real. I don't care if you this way or that way. You still better serve the Lord. And I'm just like, okay, So I don't think
Yeah,
I that.
that's all you
I,
could be.
yeah, I think I did
Mhm.
have maybe people in the back shadows like whispering, y'all know Minnie is this and yada yada yada. I may have had that, but because I've been blessed with such great confidence, it didn't bother me. So if you had your mouth on me, it was kind of like, that's between you and you. That had nothing to do with me. But I had a lot of y'all go to bat for me. So that made me feel like, empowered. Everyone still bleeds red. You're right, Spoon.
Mhm.
And that's one thing that I learned, especially being in religious sectors, is sometimes people in the church are the biggest sinners.
Oh
It's
yeah, remember
That part.
I don't know if I ever told that story on here about my sister. And when she came out and she had came to our church, and it was one of the church mothers that was like her mother, like how some people take you under
Mhm.
their wings. And she had seen Sophia, and she just would not even talk to my sister at all, and it really pissed me off
yeah,
because it was a lot of people at the church that day that came from her old church, and they was like really ignoring her
yeah,
because of that. And I just really didn't like that because I just feel like people said that they are Christians, and that's not Christian like. God loves everybody. So who are you to judge somebody because of what they're doing? And that day, I remember I was so mad because I was almost cussing them people out at church. And mommy is the one that stopped all of us because she was like, y'all embarrassing me.
yeah,
And I'm like, if y'all better be lucky, it's my mama and I love her because they would have really got the business that day. I was like, this is why people don't even come to church because y'all fucking hypocrites. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
no reason that y'all should act like this with somebody. Like this is when y'all really need to be showing somebody love. Like, I don't like stuff like that. And I'm like, and most of y'all that's acting like this was big as hoes and all that. So come on now. If we really want to go toe to toe. So I don't like when churches do that. I really don't. And that's one thing I know. And I remember when it used to always say the people at church did her like that. And I didn't like that.
Mhm.
And especially
Yeah.
with the pastor with it, I still please.
yeah.
And I
And it's
know
one
I
of
ain't
those.
supposed to be like
It's
that.
it's one of those things. I'm telling you, when you get an ounce of confidence and you finally get to a place of woosah, like the cat is out the bag. I don't have to worry. And again,
Mhm.
my grandmother would, right, super. My grandmother would say, basically, I don't care which way, right, that you decide to come out, you just better know that you a Watson. And I never understood what that meant, legs. Like, are the Watson gays better than the Johnson gays?
Right.
Are the Watson better? There was just this prestige that my grandmother had about herself, the way that she carried herself, that she didn't care about what direction you decide to swing. You just better make sure that you're well put together. So I still laugh, and me and Ro, we talked about this. I still have men that flirt with me all the time. It makes me
Cause you
laugh.
fine.
Hey,
You
honey,
fine, girl.
wait till I get a retwist tomorrow. It's one of those things to where I'm confident in who I am. There's some men on some levels that could not even compete with me, dress wise or academic wise or whatever it is. So, at some point of your healing journey, when you decide that your confidence and your healing and your decision means everything, and two, when you think about religiously, folks will go to a wedding of a woman that got 4, 5 kids and pregnant at the altar, and we'll go
Right.
celebrating, you know.
Right.
And so, what scripturally it says, God is not a respecter of person. So I am at the point of I love me more so than I love the fact that you disagree with me. I'm not going to shove it in y'all's face. Y'all never really seen me, and I've had some bad ones, Anissa, but y'all never. I just had this sense of respect for like my auntie and for my grandmother and for my aunties, where I'm just not going to throw
Yeah.
it in your face. But I think that's also because I was raised old fashioned.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think the older generation, those are the one that really, I don't even know how to describe it. They
Yeah.
just don't like it. Like they don't like it. The older generation is just something with them that they don't like. They might be nice about it, but they
Yeah.
really
Well,
Mm-hmm.
they
here's the
don't.
thing: like, you don't have to like. I've said this. Do I like that my daughter is gay? No, I don't, because it isn't what I envision or plan for her life. You have hopes and dreams, but is she still my daughter? Do I still love her? And at the end of the day, it is none of my business who my child share her bed with. It's not my business. No more than it is her business what I do in my bedroom. You know, but
Yes.
and you have to keep coming back to. I want to reiterate, if there's any like parents out there, you love your child. That didn't stop being your child. Just be, I mean, just because they make that's their choice to, be who they really are. I want her to be happy in her skin. If that's gonna make her happy in her skin, then she like it. I love it. Do we have a difference of opinion? I like men, she don't. It's simple to me like that, and it's nothing wrong with that. I mean, she at the same token, if we're gonna talk about sin and sin, like I got a child out of wedlock. Hello, who am I to throw stones at her because she a lesbian?
I have a son out of wedlock.
Agree.
Okay, do you guys have any like do you guys have any hard parts of being from the LGBTQ? Like, do you have anything hard about it? Do you feel like?
You can go first, Juanita.
Hard about it? No. I
Like,
think
is there anything bad about it, or you think that it's different from being straight in the LGBT, like something like that?
I
Any hard parts about it? No.
I think if I look back, if I would say use wisdom when you start to date, because some look very appealing, and the next thing you know, it's Susie and Sarah, and now Sarah is with Johnny. And you've invested all of this in it. So if you're going to be authentic and be in these realms of relationships, be 100% yourself. Same thing goes for our download. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be in it, be in it. Do I think anything hard? I think it's what you make it. Not everybody will be accepting, and be okay with that, especially in today's times. It's so much easier
Mm-hmm.
for people to come out than it was in the 90s or before that. Now you could just make a post on social media, and they're getting younger. They're like in middle school, saying this is
Elementary.
elementary. So I would say, no, I don't think there's anything hard with it. I think the hard part would be if you're not honest with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're still creating these facades that this is what you like, knowing good and well that's not where your heart lies. That's where I have compassion for people. Like, just open up the closet door and just come on out.
How about you, Nisa?
I would say there's nothing hard other than what I already touched on. Um, Only thing I would say is nobody warned me about these women. Like, growing up, people assume you're straight. They warn you about what type of men and this, that, the other. Nobody warned me about how these women are. So that's the only thing.
Well,
Sorry.
we don't know how to warn you.
Right. I didn't know. I didn't know.
We don't know how to warn you. Okay,
How,
so
how do you explain that? How does everybody warn you? Explain that.
Um, Warn as in like there are people who, just the type of people not today. There's people who come into situations with expectations. There's women are different than men in the sense of like some women will try to compete with you. Some women will they're more manipulative. They're more, if there are abusive at all, it's more of an emotional mental toll on you. It's more, you're, especially being in the masculine world, you're expected to kind of be the person to pick up the pieces instead of, just the roles of how everything plays out, um and the inner workings and how much more emotional it is because you have two people that feel everything and want to speak on everything, and you know just all of that, if that
you
makes
understand it more now, mommy?
Yes, I do.
red
Okay,
flags.
so
even
what would you
even
guys
red
tell?
flags
What
to
would
look out for too.
what you say, Nisa?
I said red flags to look out for too.
Oh yeah.
What
What
happened?
what would you guys tell your younger self? If you could go back and tell your younger self something, what would you go back and tell your younger self?
I want you to go first again, Kanita.
Um, if I'm just speaking for little Minnie, excuse my mouth legs in advance. You a bad bitch. Don't let nobody stop you. There's nothing that anybody can tell you to make you want to question the God on the inside of you, to make you want to question who you not. When God created you, Minnie, that fingerprint, there's only one person with that fingerprint. So I would tell me, keep your foot on their neck. Keep being the batch that you are. Go ahead and finish that doctorate degree, get your license. And I don't care what you decide to do, just be dope at everything that you do and always look and smell your best.
Yeah. Anissa Faye said just be more observant, trust your gut, and take your time. Your person is out there. Be encouraged.
Amen.
That's great.
Amen.
Man.
Beautiful.
What I would tell my younger self is not to love so deeply that you lose yourself in the other person. To what if you ever felt like you um never to overcompromise. Don't overcompromise. Stand tall in who you are. Don't shrink yourself to fit in anybody's box, to be with anybody. Um be be loving, be vulnerable, but also stand up for yourself, advocate for yourself, and stand tall on your boundaries. If they don't respect your boundaries, they don't respect you, and you need to immediately leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lady H, Faye said you did well.
I know. I
Okay,
love
so
this girl. This is my baby.
is
Thank you.
there anything else you guys would like to talk about that I did not think about, Alondra? Is there anything you
Yes.
think of? Or is in the comments, let us know if there's anything you guys want us to ask, but Alondra, you can go.
I want to say that, like, anybody that is a parent, um, even if you're suspicious or whatever, remember, even in the Bible says, with love, though I woo thee, remember, you still love your children, and I say that's so important, to have open community, try to foster open communication to where they feel comfortable enough to tell you. And I say that because there, like I said, I had to stop. I had a lot of feelings when Anissa came out, because it wasn't what I wanted for her life, but it's her life. It's not my life. But there's a lot of kids out there that, have parents that don't support them, and they killing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
How would you feel as a parent because your baby didn't feel comfortable enough to say, "Hey, mom, I think I might like girls"? Because sometimes that's how I think I might. They'll say that. Well, you do. You like it. Just say that. But if you don't leave that door open, and then your baby's laying there hanging themselves by a belt, then what you gonna live with a gay child or a dead one?
I know
So
that's right.
real careful with our words, and remember that they need love, they need support. You don't got to
Yeah,
march parade with them to do it, but loving them and being open in communication is a way you can support your LGBTQ plus all the alphabet kid.
I'd
everybody
like to
has
add to
feelings.
that too.
Nobody needs to be hurt.
What you say,
I
Monica?
said, I said, everyone has feelings. So
Yes.
do unto others as you have them do unto you. And you wouldn't like that. You hurt somebody with words, and then that's the last time you see them because they go and do something. Now you got to live with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
to what you say or how you utter your words. So it's best to be sweet. You don't have nothing good to say and action and anything. It's best to take your rump on somewhere and just leave it alone. Stay away.
Amen.
Sophia said your hair color is pretty, Anissa. Great
Thank
topic.
you.
It is.
They said they all need support and love.
And
I would
sure
I,
like to
do.
add to that
I
too.
would
Yes.
say, in conclusion, Ro, is whether you have the personal experience with family or not, educate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Educate yourself on the community. Doesn't mean that you have to agree with it, but if we're all learning how to adapt to social media and learning all these AI things, we can psychoeducate ourselves on the community. Whether you, especially if you work with young people, there's so many pronouns now that
Yes.
we were just talking about that as a
Look,
mental
I'm
health,
like, yes.
as
Right.
a professional. Some days I'm like, what is this? What is this? I would say educate yourself and learn what your graces are. If you know you don't have the capacity to tolerate, dang stupid, to
All right.
tolerate this population, then remove yourself. But like Leg said, with love and kindness have I drawn thee. So I would take this season to educate yourselves on this particular population.
Yeah, and I think we have we to me I feel like we don't even have a choice but to learn because as at work now, even when you fill out applications, they ask you what do you identify as. At Kaiser, they was telling us all the other pronouns that I had never even heard of. We was Googling it because we didn't know what it meant. But we had to learn all that because if that's what a person wanted to be considered or what do they say, known as or whatever, we have to
Referred
say that.
to.
Yeah, refer to. Thank you. We had to do that. So I think now is we don't have a choice but to know it because you can lose your job for calling somebody what they don't want to be referred to as. So you don't have a choice now but to learn it. And I think that it is disrespectful if that's what somebody wants to be and we calling them other than that. It might take time to. Oh, I'm hearing myself. That's mommy, I think. Hold on. Let me mute her. It might take time for you to remember to call the person he, she, or whatever, but you have to do that because I remember when Damien first came out and Dominique, rest in peace, And I remember when she first came out, and I would still be like Damien or him, and he'd be like, B, I am she, and my name is Dominic. And I'm like, okay, you have to give us time. Like our whole life, we've been calling you Damien and he. So now that you saying this, like you got to give us time to get used to calling
Yes.
you this. Like, that was
Yeah.
the only thing I'll be feeling like sometimes we just have to get used. Like if you used to calling somebody something all their life and then they want to be identified as something else, like just give us a little time to get used to calling you that, and we'll be fine. Like I'm okay. If you can call somebody, if they want to be referred to as a dog and a cat, we can refer to you as a woman or a man if that's what you want to be referred to. But I do think everybody does need to educate themselves, especially like Juanita said, because the kids are getting younger and younger, and parents
Yeah.
need to know how to respond to their children now. Like you gotta know how to respond to them because this generation now, they are very sensitive, and like Alondra said, they like to unalive themselves
Yeah.
over things that we feel like is not even that bad, but to them it's everything. So we do have to learn how to be not so hardcore because that's the way we grew up, because we don't really get our feelings hurt like that. But if you say one wrong thing to them, they ready to off themselves. So we have to really
I can't. I can't with you.
it's true. That
I
is
Yes.
can't with
true.
you. I
It
really
is
can't with
true.
you.
Yes.
I have
We
something
really
to
have to.
add. Can I add my little 2 cents?
Yeah.
I want to say to like everybody young out there on their journey, don't feel pressure to come out. I'm a person who I feel like coming out is not necessary all the time. Like if it's prohibiting you from, and you know this already, and you're solid in who you are, and you know that you know that you know, and it's stopping you from expressing yourself the way you want to with your close people, that's cool. But I don't feel like it's a necessary part of the journey. It's kind of like a gender reveal. Like you can have one, you cannot have one. You don't have to do that with everybody. It is at the end of the day your life, your journey. Um, and if you want to preserve a relationship with somebody who happens to be a pastor, or happens to be this, or happens to be that, preserve that relationship. That's your business to, and your card to play whenever you feel like you want to play it. So don't feel pressured to do that. You
Yeah,
know
and the
what I'm
last thing to piggyback off Anissa, with her in our family, there's people obviously they're old school and whatever about it, but they would come and ask me, "Is Anissa Alondra? Is Anissa gay?" And I'd be like, "Yeah," but I was very like, "And you bet, and what about it?" Kind of like you're not gonna like treat my daughter any differently. And some people, I had to talk to like, listen, if you treat her differently or act like she didn't stop being who she was just because she liked girls, so why would you treat her any differently or whatever? And I kind of was like, Mama Bear probably came out at that point because I didn't want people to run her off. I said, if you treat them differently, you're gonna run them off and they ain't gonna want to come around and be around the family no more. Like, what's different about it? It's none of your business what she doing. Sorry, you see, I get defensive even now, but like it's none of your.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh no, because it's just like years ago, the young people were when they weren't accepted, they were, as most I'm saying, these big words, analyzing themselves. Just the bottom line, they were taking their lives because they weren't feeling loved. The family didn't know how to accept them. They were rejected. And so thank God a lot has been learned through the years, to keep on learning.
Okay, let me read some of the comments. Nikki said, call them by their names day one. Treat people as people. We are all spiritual beings and being treated with love and kindness and compassion. Just be respectful. Uh, you're correct. This generation is too sensitive. Naya said right. And then Shatia said, oh my gosh, mommy. So I really did enjoy this
Miss you,
conversation
Tia.
tonight. Um, because I do feel like this is something that we really need to talk about even more than this, but like it's a start. So, parents out there, like we said, you have to be mindful of the way you come at your children. And children, I don't know if it's ways, do they tell kids ways to tell their parents now? Is there a
It's
different
kind of
way to
like
tell
I
them?
have advice on that too. Get like you said, give your parent time to process. Everybody needs time to process stuff. If they not ready to give you a response right then, let it sit. Let them process
Yeah.
it because they might be trying to choose their words wisely or, figure out their approach. So definitely, as much as you want understanding, you should also be willing to be patient too.
Yeah. So thank you, ladies. So, Mommy, did you have anything else you wanted to say, or anybody else have anything else they wanted to say?
No, I'm just thinking. I hope the church is come. The Pentecostal. I think we were the hardest church on to accept
But I
it.
don't know how they the hardest church, and most of the people on the instruments and playing in the choir
Well,
directors.
I mean, yeah, but in the beginning they weren't on the instruments. Later on, the instruments. They were in the choir and whatever. So they just gotta mind their own business and love everybody and anything. Thank God they still come to church.
Right.
But when you do run
Yes.
them away like this said down when said that mother came over to me and was heartless mad over Sophia being the way she was. What am I supposed to do? She's a grown woman. I'm supposed to thank her, you know. So we have to be careful, older people, and and the Bible tells us in loving kindness have I wronged thee,
Mm-hmm.
So this is the bottom line.
Yes. So y'all, church members out there, y'all got to do better.
Yes.
Amen.
Be Christian like. Don't just say you're a Christian. Be Christian like. Let us see the Christian in you.
Yeah.
And you run them off. Be glad that they want to be around you.
And I better not see your Christian behind at the liquor store and all that stuff since you want to talk about gay people and stuff. Okay. I
Or
better
getting
look.
tattoos.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
um,
had to lick us up.
Naya said, "Always be accepting of people around you, and you will receive the same," which is so true.
Amen.
Yeah.
So that is our show for tonight. Thank you, ladies, so much for coming on. And I need to have more conversations like this because this is the world that we're living in, and we need to have these conversations for everybody. So thank you guys for coming on tonight. Do you guys? I say that y'all have any last words
Yeah, we
already?
did.
Okay, so for our women's empowerment quote is always be the woman that will put the woman's crown back on top. Don't be the person that tilts it. Put it back where it's supposed to be. That's the kind of women that we are supposed to be. Any woman, but really as black women, we need to start being there for each other more. I will say too, we need to not just congratulate somebody on when they having a baby. Congratulate them when they win an awards at work. When just different things, not just only getting pregnant or getting married. Like when somebody has done something or a milestone has
Something
happened in their
good.
life,
Yeah.
yeah, you need to congratulate them on that too. So that's the kind of women that I'm striving for all of us to be. So thank you guys again for being on the show tonight. Love the message from the heart. Nikki, good night, ladies. Be blessed and stay beautiful. Thank you guys again for coming on. And mommy, thank you for coming on and telling us your journey. And we'll have you on again. I just have to make sure I steer you back into where you're supposed to be.
I'll be ready.
Okay, and then have a great weekend, you guys. Stay
All right.
hydrated. I don't know where everybody's at, but in California, it's in the 90s. We almost in the hundreds. So stay hydrated, ladies, and
Thank
have a
y'all.
great week. Love you guys, and thank you for watching. Make sure you press the like button if you haven't subscribed. Subscribe already. Oh yeah, one more thing because I meant to say that too. Juanita is having her 5K marathon. Juanita, when is it? May 3rd?
Amen.
May 30th.
Oh, I'm like May 3rd.
May
May
30th,
30th. Bonita's having her
Child
5K
Awareness
run.
Month.
So I'll be
May
putting it on my page.
30.
And then also in April, I gotta look it up because I don't want to tell you the wrong date. I think it's like April. Oh, I can't remember. It's in April, but they're having the 5K run for the kids with disabilities. They have that every year, and we always go and support Amir. So
Oh,
have all these 5Ks going on, like we need to get in shape. So have a great weekend,
I
everybody. I'll see
love
you
you
guys
guys.
next week. Bye, you guys. Bye, mommy. Bye, Bonita
bye
Nika.
bye. Bye, sweetheart.
Bye.
Good night.
Oh, they was putting the thing on there. 30th. Good night.